So, you've probably seen the headlines popping up everywhere, right? Amazon Fresh is shutting down. It's all over social media, and honestly, it's creating a whole lot of confusion. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to cut through all that noise and get to the bottom of what is really going on. And this is the big question on everyone's mind. Is Amazon really, truly pulling the plug on its entire grocery operation, from the delivery service to the actual stores? But first, why is everyone suddenly asking this question now? Well, if you've been searching for this, you are definitely not alone. Get this, in just the last 24 hours, searches for Amazon Fresh's closing have skyrocketed by over 350%. That's a massive spike. This isn't just a quiet rumor. It's a full-on wave of concern, and we need to unpack what's really driving it. All right, so let's tackle this head on. It's time to dive into this Amazon Fresh panic and do the most important thing we can do: separate the actual facts from the fear. So where is all this coming from? It's not just one thing. It's kind of like a perfect storm. You've got these alarming headlines talking about store closures. You have people getting confused, mixing up the grocery brand with other parts of Amazon. And then you have Amazon itself using vague corporate speak like a strategic shift. You put all that together, and it's a recipe for major confusion. To really get what's happening, we have to start with the basics. We need to be crystal clear on one simple thing. What exactly is Amazon Fresh? Because, a lot of the misunderstanding really does start right here. Okay, so at its core, Amazon Fresh is Amazon's huge play to get into the grocery game. But think of it less as a single thing and more as a whole ecosystem. It's designed to take on the giants, your Walmarts, your Krogers, using a one-two punch of online delivery and actual physical stores. And this ecosystem breaks down into three main pieces. First, you've got the online delivery service, which is probably what you're most familiar with. Second, the actual brick-and-mortar supermarkets. And third, they have their own line of Amazon-branded grocery products. All three of these things live under the Amazon Fresh brand. And this is exactly where people get tripped up. So let's be super clear. Amazon Fresh is about groceries and technology. That's it. It has nothing to do with Amazon's clothing business, it's not Prime Video, and it's not the general Amazon marketplace. Getting this part right is absolutely key to understanding the real story. Okay, this brings us to what is probably the single most important distinction in this entire conversation. The huge, huge difference between the word closures and the word shutdown. They are not the same thing. Let's break it down. When you hear store closures, think limited and selective. It's a strategic move that affects some physical stores in some locations. But a business shutdown, that's the end of the line. It's total, it's final, and it means the entire brand is disappearing. One is a strategic adjustment, the other is a total failure. And to make this as clear as possible, let's just put the most important fact front and center. Amazon has stated very clearly that the online grocery delivery part of Amazon Fresh is not shutting down. If you're someone who orders groceries online for delivery, this is the number one thing you need to hear. So, if it's not a total failure, then what is it? Well, this gets us into Amazon's real strategy, because what often looks like a mistake or a failure to us on the outside is, for Amazon, just part of the plan. You could say it's a feature, not a bug. See, Amazon has this classic playbook. First, they test ideas aggressively. Then, they learn. They figure out what works and what doesn't. Third, they pivot, and they do it fast. They have no problem shutting down things that are inefficient. And finally, they redirect all those resources into the areas that are actually winning. We've seen them run this play over and over again. So why did some of these physical stores become one of those inefficient models? Well, a few things were going on. That advanced tech they used was really expensive to run. Also, a lot of shoppers just stuck with their habits and went to their usual supermarkets. Some store locations simply didn't get enough foot traffic. And you can't forget, the competition from established players like Walmart is just incredibly fierce. And you have to see this as just one piece of Amazon's much bigger two-part grocery plan. On one side, you have Amazon Fresh, which is aimed at the mass market, focusing on convenience and tech. On the other side, you have Whole Foods, which targets premium shoppers who want a high-quality in-store experience. They're two different tools for two very different jobs. Okay, so we've covered the panic, we've defined what we're talking about, and we've looked at the strategy. Now let's bring it all home and answer the most important question of all. What does any of this actually mean for you, the customer? Let's just boil this all down to 4 key things you need to know.
Number 1, your Amazon Fresh online delivery is safe. In fact, it's still expanding. 2, yes, a few physical stores in certain areas have closed, but it's a very small selective number. 3, this is a strategic adjustment, not a total business collapse. And maybe most importantly, 4, for you as a customer, there are no urgent, catastrophic changes happening that you need to worry about.
So really, we end here. This whole story isn't about failure. It's about learning. Amazon tested a model with its stores, it learned what wasn't working, and now it's pivoting. And that leaves us with the real, forward-looking question. As Amazon gets smarter and smarter about the tough business of groceries, what is its next move going to be? Now that is what we should all be watching.